Hi viewers and subscribers, welcome to another book review of In a Week. I'm your host Sahim. Today we're going to do a book review of Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan by Lafcadio Hearn, foreword by Richie. It's a pretty big book, took me a while to read it, and you can see from the thickness of this book. So now let's get into the book review. Lafcadio Hearn, whose full name is Patrick Lafcadio Hearn, was born in Greece in Lafkada on the Ionian Islands. He first immigrated to Ireland, then in 1869 he immigrated to United States to Cincinnati. As an avid writer, Lafcadio Hearn developed key writing skills in Cincinnati, and due to his talent in writing, he obtained a job as a reporter for Cincinnati Daily Enquirer, where he worked from 1872 to 1875, and later he was hired by the Cincinnati Commercial, where he worked until 1877. Later, Lafcadio Hearn moved to New Orleans, where he continued writing for newspapers for a decade. In 1887, Lafcadio Hearn moved to French West Indies, and in 1890 he went to Japan with a commission as a newspaper correspondent. Although his position did not last long, he managed to secure a teaching position in Japan in the summer of 1890 in Matsue, which is a town in western Japan on the coast. His book, Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan, has a chapter called From the Diary of an English Teacher, in which Lafcadio Hearn shares with readers his teaching experience in a Japanese school. Lafcadio Hearn married a Japanese woman and became the citizen of Japan in 1896. In 1896, he also accepted a teaching position in Tokyo. Although Lafcadio Hearn wrote a dozen more books on Japan, his collection of first impressions in Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan remains his most popular book. The reason is that Lafcadio Hearn accurately captured and shared his Japanese experience, which impacted him so much that he stayed in Japan for the rest of his life. Now let's start the book review. So, Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan combines two volumes of a work that first appeared in 1894. This book covers the customs, superstitions, festivals, religion, geography, urban legends, and charming scenery and the Japanese character. Lafcadio Hearn noticed that aspects of Japanese life that have endured in spite of the changes that have taken place during the modernization of Japan after the Meiji Restoration. The author noticed that the Japanese character and the traditions are embedded in the Japanese mind. His writings reveal the secrets of the old Japan to its readers. This edition also contains a new foreword by noted writer and examiner of Japanese culture Richie, and I have mentioned him before in my earlier book reviews. He puts Lafcadio Hearn's work into historical and cultural perspective for readers. The book has 27 chapters and it is a very long book, but the following 4 chapters impacted me the most in the book. Chapter 3, which is about Jizo, impacted me a lot. I have read many books on Japan and many writers briefly explained the concept of Jizo-sama. However, when I read Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan, I came to understand the concept of Jizo clearly. I think emotionally it is the most touching subject of this book. In short, I can say that it is related to parents who have lost their children as infants, and Jizo is their lost child's protector in afterlife. Chapter 19, which is From the Diary of an English Teacher. In this chapter, I learned what it was like to be a teacher in Japan during the late 1800s, the respect given to teachers by Japanese students, the Japanese students' diligence and commitment to their studies, even with meager resources, is what touches the heart of a reader in this chapter. There are also stories of Lafcadio Hearn's students, which he mentioned in chapter 19. They're very emotional and very touching. And I'm not going to go into the details because I want the viewers to read this chapter when they are reading Glimpses of Unfamiliar Japan. Chapter 26, The Japanese Smile. In this chapter, Lafcadio Hearn outdid himself by clearly explaining with examples why Japanese people smile even in the face of the most sorrowful time. To a Western mind, it sounds absurd to smile when explaining one's grief to others. However, after reading this chapter, the reader will not only comprehend the reason, but will also give due respect to this behavior. Chapter 27 is called Sayonara. This chapter is, I think, an offshoot of chapter 19, which is called The Diary of an English Teacher. In chapter 27, Sayonara, it is where Lafcadio Hearn has related to readers his last days as a teacher and the day of his departure. It is a chapter full of cultural insights and beautiful emotions and sentiments. The purpose for my book reviews is to give my viewers a useful little glimpse of the book without revealing too much information. It is to encourage people to read the book itself. I mentioned my favorite chapters here just to share with viewers what impacted me the most in this book. However, that does not mean that the viewers should in any way skip on the rest of the book. The other chapters are as eye-opening and full of exciting secrets of old Japan as the ones that I have mentioned. If you like the content, please subscribe, like the video, and comment below. Help the channel grow. Thank you for watching in a week.